Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so very much for joining me. If you're new here, I call you my friend because you took the time to stop by my craft room. So even if you're brand new, welcome, welcome. This is Smash Those Small Paper Pads. This is a collaboration with Bourbon Creek Crafts here on YouTube and Stampin' Cat on Instagram, and they'll both be linked below. We're trying to use up our small paper pads. Feel free to join us and share your projects with us or tell us what you're working on. This isn't about buying new stuff. I made 20 cards this month and some embellishments. I think when this pad was chosen last month, somebody said they would like to see me make embellishments with it. So I have embellished these cards using not much more than this paper pad, and then I made a few more things, and it is smashed. This is it. These are tiny itty bitties. It is done over. You won't see this pad from me again. And I'm kind of sad. I liked it right up until the end, which sometimes I get tired of things. This month I used Vintage Bliss by Simple Stories because that is what got the most votes. So let me move you pretty quickly through these cards. I used gray cardstock on almost all of them. I used some gold, different things, but I brought in the gray. I used white and cream card bases, partly depending on what I could find at the time. And I did a lot of fussy cutting in the paper. This one I added some white pen and some stickles and some glossy accents to. And then I have a layered die here. And I chose my sentiments based on sentiments that I need and what one of my friends is asking for. I made a sympathy card. All of these have some kind of scrap on the inside, and I like to keep my sympathy cards pretty simple. If you recall in one of my videos, I showed these and threw them into the bin. I used the stickers off of here and just extended it on each end. So if you have something sitting around that ties to the colors in the paper pad you're about to use, don't hesitate to set it aside. Love this one. Look at this. It's wonderful. Again, I used a lot of gray. There's a lot of gray in the paper and it went nicely. So the back layer of the sentiment die is gray paper. I'm not sure if it shows very well on camera. Then I have another Thinking of You die, and there were these bingo cards in the paper pad. So I used some of those. I fussy cut a ton of butterflies out of this paper right here. And then I used my punch to punch other butterflies. And I also used things I had sitting around. This gold butterfly was sitting there, so I layered it up. I used gold and silver and a pearly paper in these. And then I used one of these heart embossing things. These were from my friend Noni's Trash, I think. And they were the pre-made cards, I think, and the front was embossed. I don't know if she got them that way or if they were sitting here and I thought, I'm going to use one. So I just inked up the front. I think it's the Peacock Distress Oxide. And then I used a thank you die and put a butterfly on it. And I have gold mirror cardstock. Super fast. I just thought, I'm going to use one of those. Thinking of You, these were embossed sentiments that Noni had given me before. I found the bold black to be a little much with these, so I switched to gray ink. Here I fussy cut it out, used some pens on it and some stickles to glitter it up a bit. Thinking of You, it's on mirror cardstock, gold, and I used 3 strips. This was probably when I was down to scraps, so I had a piece of pink and a floral and put them together. Thinking of You. The Thinking of You is like a weird self-adhesive brown paper that I had sitting around. Kind of works. Sympathy. This is a little flashy maybe for a sympathy card, but I don't know. I was on a roll and I had the sympathy cut. It says heartfelt sympathy, but I messed up the die cut when I was taking it apart. So I just trimmed it down. I need to glue a little more right there. Trimmed off the heartfelt, and I just have sympathy. I think it works. I could always put with, or I think it works. I could always add a little something if that spot's too empty. And then I have a butterfly up there. And this is old from Tuesday morning a couple years back. If you have it, unroll a bit and let it hang on the wall because it was unruly. I think it was Maggie Holmes, and I have gold stars of it too. thank you card. Again, I fussy cut the shapes from the paper, the flowers and the butterfly, and then I used a new die that I picked up that was just big and bold and gray paper across it. And I like that. And if you're going to put a die on a busy stripe like this, you're going to have to really use something that would stand out. And this die is going to stand out on anything. Look at this one. I kind of love it. I matted it with the paper from the pad. Early on, I was matting with those and had 2 layers, but you know, as you get leaner on paper, maybe not so much. And I fussy cut the flowers here, and then I had in my stash, the front smile wasn't layered on anything. So don't be afraid if you have one part of a layer die or something you're not sure what you're going to do with. Never throw anything away that you die cut. That is gold, just you'll use it someday. So then all I had to do was cut the back layer, and I had lost the dot for the eye, so I used a fussy cut flower from the paper. Miss You, some pink ribbon down here. Again, this is another one of those stickers from that sticker set, and this fussy cut flower has stickles and the Nuvo glitter gloss pen, which is like Wink of Stella. Then I used gray Stampin' Up! Ink and stamped the Miss You. I was just looking around my room for what's a small sentiment that could fit there, and that's how I ended up with Miss You on this card, which was a sentiment that my friend also asked for. So I think this one's pretty cute. I don't love green that much, and there's a lot of green on this card, but I did it. Scraps, Thinking of You, and some butterflies, and look at this. Can you guys see it? I did the idea, I think it was Christina that told me, of putting the sparkly thread, metallic thread around the body of the butterfly, and then I layered it up. Very simple, not the straightest card either, but cute. I love this one. Absolutely love it. And it's so girly, it's ridiculous. One of you sent me this in Happy Mail. I don't have like a scalloped shape like that. And then I fussy cut a whole bunch of flowers, and I think that blue one was just sitting on the counter. And then I fussy cut a butterfly, and then maybe at the same time one of you sent me this oval, this like, it's kind of a fat oval, it's cute, and I just layered it up with things that you sent me, and oh my gosh, I love it. I don't know if it's the contrast. You know, I like contrast, and so this is a really dark gray and white. I think it's this scalloped border, and that I didn't put it on straight, which I did on purpose, wasn't an accident. Get Well, I needed some Get Well cards. At one point this week, I was looking for Get Well and Sympathy, and I knew I needed to make more. Butterflies, and these are like a shimmer paper, a vellum shimmer butterfly. There was a piece about the size of a card sitting on the counter. I'm sure it came in Happy Mail, and I decided to make butterflies with it. There's butterflies in the paper, and also I was kind of in the butterfly mode because I'm getting ready for the butterfly journals. Look at this one. A lot of pink, but I still love it. I had the mat, and it was laid out, and it was super plain, and I went in my stash and got some washi tape that ties this all together. I don't know if I had the plan at the time I put the washi down. I just went for it. Before I assembled some of the cards, I tried to do things to them that would make them different. So wrapping washi around it and then gluing it all together kind of forces you to say, okay, this one's going to be different. And I love these blue flowers. This is that same thank you die, but I layered it up here. There's a gray underneath. Love this one. Happy birthday. This green circle was sitting on the counter. Then I stamped happy birthday on it, put some silver ties, put a silver stripe here, and then put butterflies on it with, I think I just glued, I glued one wing. So they're not flat, and they kind of have motion to them. And I just love these ridiculous florals that bring in all the color of the pad. Look at this one. Thanks. The Be Happy was from one of those little bingo cards. I think I cut it off the top. This butterfly has glossy accents on the wings. Thanks is a double layer die. This one has a lot of pattern. It's really fun. Get Well. I don't know where this came from. It was sitting on the other counter, and I was tidying up. I went through Embellishments one night when I was watching TV, and I came across this, and all it is a colored acetate piece with some of this yellowy mustard color and then some pale pink. and I just love it. I was trying to find something to add a little more interest because this is one of my scrap cards, but I used big pieces and I just thought it was a little plain that way. Smaller pieces, scrap card, could maybe use a little something else, but I don't dislike it the way it is. Thinking of You, giant scraps, another one of those ovals that came in Happy Mail, thank you, and a butterfly. You can't tell, I don't know why, but it's a dual layer. A lot of the butterflies I punched and then layered up, so it's 2 different papers from the pad with my punch. Now let's see what I have going in embellishments and how I use things up. I had tags sitting around in my room, so I took the tiny scraps. I mean, that's why they're small, and made tags with them. So this one has one of those bingo cards on top of scraps and a 2-layer butterfly. This one is scraps, and I even got to use a bit of butterflies that I just didn't want to get rid of. And then I fussy cut a flower that hadn't found a home yet and was in a piece of paper and layered that on. And then scraps, and then another scrap, and then some butterflies down here. This would be cute in my butterfly journal. I got butterflies on the brain. Embellishments is pretty vague, right? I mean, I embellished all the cards, but I also had all these tiny scraps left. So what I did was I grabbed things off the counter and had fun with them. This came in Happy Mail, and I punched the corner out with a butterfly and then used some scraps to dress it up and stamped genuine. This one, scraps. These blue circles came in Happy Mail, and there were a bunch of them sitting here, and I thought, okay, so dream, and then that scrap is that shape because it was that shape, and I was about to trim it to the circle, and I thought, nope, I'm going to leave it and see where it ends up. Dream, and it has some cute little bits on it. These will be great for clusters. Just like I use these kind of things, they're just a cleaner style. A different person might appreciate one versus the other on a card, but they're the same idea. I am having a heck of a time with my focus tonight. I wonder if my battery's low. We better hurry. Okay, so I have those. Then this was in the paper, and I fussy cut it out and then added some more butterflies and flowers, stamped sweet right here. These are fussy cut flowers. I didn't cover it all up because I think it depends on the page that I put it in a journal. And I was going to try it on a card, but then I just decided I wanted it in a journal. And what I find is if you have embellishments that are, say, half done, it's really easy to tie them into a project because you could use paper, or maybe that day I'm playing with images of cameras or stars, or it's going to be butterflies, but I didn't want everything to have butterflies on it. It just helps you if you haven't covered up every bit of it. Then I took the tiny bits of paper that were left and I punched butterflies with my butterfly punch. If you haven't seen it, this thing is addicting. And it is in the Amazon store links down below my videos. I love it. It makes 4 different butterflies, and then you can layer and mix and match. On these, I was using the tiniest one, I think on almost every single one of them, just because that's how big the paper scraps were. This one, I just stamped sweet and left it. And then I have a couple of bingo cards left. Bliss, this one I loved, but I kept trying to put it on the same color and that wasn't working for me. Bloom, and I glued a little flower that I fussy cut down on there. And Live and Love, and I put a butterfly on that one. That's what I did with embellishments. And these were, at the end, when these were the sizes of paper that I have. When I use a paper pad or pack, I always start with my biggest things. If I'm gonna make cards, I always make the cards first because you could literally make embellishments with this if you wanted. Now I'm not going to because I've hit the limit, but it doesn't take much to do embellishments. So if I'm gonna use paper, I always start with the biggest. Like if I'm getting into a 12 by 12 collection, I will make the journal first and then cards. That's just me. Maybe other people say, I'm gonna make embellishments for 3 days and then I'm gonna make cards. I don't know. For this month, choose which one of these you would like. This was the runner-up last month. It's Queen & Company. It's a partial pad, and it's called Birthday Bash, and I would make birthday cards with it. I have birthday dies, birthday stamps, you know, lots of stuff. And then this one is Garden Party by Pebbles, and it is flowers and springy things and gardeny. I think I would probably make some ephemera for journals, maybe, and some cards out of that. That one has 36 pages, quite a bit. Tell me which one you would like to see next month. You can just vote down below, Birthday Bash or Garden Party. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Bourbon Creek Crafts and Stampin' Cat too. Bye-bye.